Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order. Welcome to HPANWO TV. It's Monday morning, conference is over. I'm sitting here looking out of my window at this lovely morning, watching the slaves go in and out of the Job Centre Plus. And I'm going to do souvenirs. There's quite a lot from this conference, I'll tell you. Like, this is the weird logo, which I just call it the lampshade logo. Normally it's in all black and white, and you can't see it, but there's a pair of people down here pointing up in the sky at this lamp. Now there's these magazines here, Mindscape, UFO, Matrix, Paranormal. They're from Healings of Atlantis, which is the company which runs these conferences and publishes these magazines. I've not read Mindscape. Paranormal and UFO Matrix are really good. Unfortunately, I don't have time for both, so I just do UFO Matrix. I'd like to be able to do both, but just UFO Matrix I do. Now then, Robert Schoch. Now, this is all about a Turkish Adventure Grand Tour. Now, Robert Schoch, he's a good guy because he's a geologist who has radically redated the Sphinx. The Sphinx is much older than we think it is because it has rainfall damage, and even though it's built in a desert. This is the programme of events. Unfortunately, a lot of this didn't come to pass. For instance, a lot of these speakers didn't turn up. They had to change them at the last minute, especially on Sunday where we didn't have a couple of these guys. Robert Val did 2 hours. There's no fancy dress competition, I don't think. That didn't happen. There's the two human figures there pointing up at the sky, which are on the covers. Now the hypnagogic light experience, right? Engelbert and Dirk. I'll have more to say on that later. And on the back we have the various classifieds, energy healing, and the Alien Museum. I wonder where that is. I'd like to have a look at that. I'd like to go and visit that. Right. Now this is, I just better be careful. I better turn the camera away for a minute because I'm not exactly sure how much of this I'm allowed to show, because I'm not exactly sure what Anthony Peake's policy is on this special offer for a pre-order for this book. This is the new book by Anthony Peake, Out of Body Experience, A History of Science and Astral Travel. And I have more to say about Anthony Peake later because I've got his other 2 books. This is the publishers here. Now there's a special offer on this book where you can get it free if you go to this website and quote this certain number, but I'm not sure I'm allowed to show you that. I'm not exactly sure how Anthony feels about that being put on film. So until I'm certain, I better just not show you that. So that's that done. Now this is it. Look, extraordinary situation. The brain initiates an incredible self-healing process. Now this is what I was talking about yesterday with Heidi. You watched my interview with Heidi. She went on this machine. And this is it. This is the flyer that comes with it. And as I said yesterday, the situation wasn't that good. It's called Loose Shirt number 3. The set and setting wasn't that good, and Heidi didn't really get the most out of her experience with this machine. So what we're going to have to do is we'll have to find out where it's going to be next. And me and Austin will have to go and have another go, I think. And I wouldn't mind because I never had a go last time. And this is it's Engelbert Winkler. Engelbert Winkler, I think you pronounce that. Dirk Pruckel. And Margit Winkler Reith. These various different people. They're Germans, and they're the people running the company that organised this. What's this? Swin City Comics. All right, comics. This is a flyer from Swin City. Swindon. It's a city, you see. Swindon is a city. Right, we got that sorted out. This is a flyer for several things in the local area. There we are, Swin City Comics. There we are. It is a city, not a town. Nice. Anthony Peake. Now this is Anthony Peake's card. I've got a couple of these, so I'll give them away. Now these 2 books here, you're going to see a bit more of in a minute. So hold tight. He's got a website there, and he's got a very active forum. He talks an awful lot about his forum. Now, running a forum's never easy because, of course, I've got my own, the HPANWO forum. And actually, me and Anthony, we had a long chat about the problems of running forums. So, but he asked me if I wanted to join the forum. I said, well, if I've got time, mate, there's nothing on the back. Ormus, modern day alchemy. This is a postcard. Here one book, clear detailed explanations of time-honoured Ormus collection process. Now I've said a lot about Ormus before, you know, if you read my article Terra Preta, if I remember I'll put it in the description box, it discusses exactly what Ormus is. Ormus is actually a chemical, it's like a chemical, a special kind of material which exists in soil, which can it enormously increases the fertility of soil. It could basically solve all the world's food problems, which of course is why it's not being used. That's an interesting symbol there, the Ouroboros, and this sort of like mermaid or merman. Interesting symbol there. Megalithomania. Now USA. Now Megalithomania, they always have a big stall at Probe, and hardly anyone ever seems to go there, which is a shame because I think they're really good. They're a place called Glastonbury, Connecticut. There's a Glastonbury in America. See, that's something pretty amazing. So from Glastonbury, UK, the Ultimate Conference. It's actually advertising a conference. Now when's that? Let's have a look. The 10th to the 20th of November. Oh, I can't. That's in America. I can't afford that. I can't go there anyway. But it looked good. It's a whole week. It's like the International UFO Congress. I've always wanted to go there. See, £1,499. International flights not included. You give me the money and I'll go. Ancient Peru. This is another Megalithomania. I think this is the same one. Is this the same? No, it's not the same. Megalithomania USA. Is it the same fly? I think it's two of the same. Oh, they're identical. Yeah, I've just shown you two identical flyers. Right. Nexus magazine. I'm going to give this to somebody when I get home. Nexus is one of a really good magazine. It's one of the best ones. As Marcus Allen, the UK editor, a good friend of mine, puts it, there are only two types of people in the world: those who read Nexus and those who are going to. And this is a place where you can order your Nexus copy from a newsagent or from the office. Definitely, I would recommend reading Nexus. Now what's this? OutOfTheOrdinaryFestival.com. Oh, wow, what's this? Out of the Ordinary Festival, 23rd to the 25th of September. System 7, Zub Zub Orchid Star, Trans-Siberian March Band. Sounds like music and art and things. It's an art festival or something. It's near Brighton anyway. Knockhatch Farm near Brighton. That sounds good. Unfortunately, I'm going to be in London at the time and in Nottingham, so I won't be able to go to that. But that looks interesting. If you can get to that, I'd go. Uncon. Oh, right, yes. This is something I've always been meaning to go to, but never do. I'd like to go this year, but I don't think I can actually afford it. But if I can, I'll go because it's in London. It's quite close. The 14 Times Unconvention. It's like it's basically the conference for 14 Times. Now I spoke about 14 Times in the last video I did last week on ASAP. It's a very old paranormal magazine. Goes back over 100 years, long before Nexus and those other magazines got going in UFO Matrix. It's taken a very sceptical slant lately, but it's still worth, you know. So if you can go, it's still worth going to. It's Dave Clark, the great skeptic about UFOs, is going to be there. Oddly enough, he wasn't at the Weird conference this year. Neither was Andy Roberts. Two guys notable by their absence. The Science on the Sasquatch, that's about Bigfoot, I suppose. Canine Intellectuals, I think he was at Skeptics in a pub the other day. Richard Freeman, now he's very interesting. He's with the CFZ along with Jonathan Downes and some other people, Graham Inglis, and he's written a good book about dragons. Lynn Picnic, Clive Prince, they're interesting. Oh, and there's the dynamic duo here, Dave Clark and Andy Roberts, Cursed Stones. I think it's probably going to be about the Hexham Heads, I'm guessing. The Mummy's Curse. Oh, I don't know who these people are. But anyway, get to Uncon if you can. I don't think I'm going to be going, but if I can, I will. But as I say, it's a bit expensive, and I don't think I'll get the time off work. This is the Strange Phenomena Investigations. I'm sorry, SPI. I called it the Scottish Paranormal Investigations. It's not. That's Malcolm Robinson's organisation. It's Strange Phenomena Investigations. This is how you join, and it's very I mean, I might do that actually, but I don't know if you have to pay, because I'm already a member of ASAP and I'm paying for that. So, do you wish to be involved in the investigation of UFOs and the paranormal? Yes. Do you have qualifications? Do you have access to equipment? These various these various rules and things from the contract. If you want to join, I'm not sure I've got time. Oh, this is Malcolm Robinson's card. Founder of Strange Phenomenon Investigations, and there's how you get hold of him. He's on Facebook. He is a friend of mine on Facebook, and that's his book, The UFO Case Files of Scotland, and that's well worth reading, I'd say. Yeah, I think I showed you it in last year's when I did souvenirs for last year's Exapol. Well worth reading that. This is Angel. Oh, this is Angel card reading. Now, Astain had one of these readings. Louise, yeah, she's called. She does angel card reading, psychic, clairvoyant, Reiki master. Now that sounds interesting. I mean, Astain actually got an awful lot out of that. She really enjoyed it, and it's quite. I mean, it costs £15, but I mean, you basically get over an hour-long reading. So, you know, as far as psychics go, you know, this lady is actually. You get your value for money with this, I'd say. Anthony Peake. Oh, it's another of Anthony Peake's cards. I've already showed you one of these. I think this must be Astain's. If not, I'll give that to somebody I know. Or somebody else. This is a bookmark of the Book Depository, and it's a calendar. It's a calendar and a bookmark. So that'll come in handy. We're now on September the 19th. So the year's going quickly, isn't it? Yeah. Should be good. The Book Depository, of course, is Sal's alternative books. Comes from the Kennedy assassination, of course. Right. Ormus. Oh, it's another Ormus thing. It's a bookmark about Ormus. What is Ormus? A group of essential minerals previously unknown to modern science, because they did not show up in common scientific. Yeah, that's it. What kind of minerals? Oh yeah, gold, silver, platinum. I think you've heard of monatomic gold. That's quite a common one. It shows you how to collect Ormus. Yeah. Of Ormus. While attending a festival, you overhear a conversation between your friend. What's this? Have you been collecting Ormus? Oh, blimey. I'll have to look into that. Right, this is another of Malcolm Robinson's books. I showed you the one about Scotland. This is The Paranormal Case Files of Great Britain. Now, I've not read this, and I've not bought a copy, but I'm going to have to get hold of this, because I very much enjoyed the Scottish UFO book. So, that's it. Healings of Atlantis, of course, is the publisher. UFO Matrix. Now, this is a magazine worth reading. It talks about this. It begins with the story of the Kenneth Arnold sighting, which, of course, is all about UFOs. That's the first copy, and this is well worth reading, I'd say. Oh, it's a beer mat. Left Hook Samaritans. Whatever life's done you will help you find strength. That's good. And there's the numbered Samaritans. There's a bloke, a boxer there. I think they're. That's good. They're trying to get away. They're trying to put in the image, you know, that it's not unmasculine to need help and counselling. You know, it's not. It doesn't make you a wimp if you do. There's a very masculine figure here. You know, who's obviously down on his luck and feeling he needs support. So there's nothing wimpy about needing support, guys. You know, if you feel like you need counselling, then get it, basically. There's another flyer for the Light Machine, Lucia 3. That's good. Got two of them. Ingrid Rylance, Reiki Master, Animal Communicator. Yeah. This is interesting, because I mean, there are some people who say they like horse whispering and people like that who believe they have a special knack for communicating with animals. And I can well believe it. There are some people who have a kind of rapport with certain animals. Sometimes it's all animals, and sometimes it's certain species. I knew a lady who was amazing with cats. We had a cat at home who would never sit on our lap, and this lady turned up, and our cat went and sat on her lap. It was unbelievable. Yeah, blimey, yeah, so there's a little pussycat. Oh, I miss my cats, I really do. How I use the wand. Oh, that's from the same person, and it's about, they had wands, they had these little sticks with feathers and jewellery attached, which were going for about a tenner each, and it's one of these sort of like pagan magical things, you know. It explains how to use the various wands. And this is the wand book. This is this lady here, Ingrid Rylance. And these are pictures. This is a picture of the wands. And it explains exactly what they mean. I mean, I'm not really into this sort of thing much for myself. I've not looked into it. I wouldn't say I'm not into it in the terms I don't believe in it or I reject it, but it explains how these wands work. You know, it sounds a bit Harry Potter to me, you know, but it suits some people. Here's what's this? Oh, that's my ticket for Sunday. Wheel 11 ticket, £25. I mean, tell you the truth, this is quite a reasonably priced conference compared to some. You get a whole day, like I say, you get 9:15, 7:30 PM. You get a whole day's admission on that, and that's quite good value. Help resolve behaviour problems, training issues with animals. And this is the same lady, Ingrid Rylance, Reiki master and animal communicator. Again, it's this horse whispering thing. Very interesting in that, because we often see animals as our inferiors in terms of their mental abilities, but maybe they're just very different, and that's why they seem that way. But amazing. People often tell stories about how amazingly intelligent some animals are, especially dogs, especially most common, but other species too. Now this is the Samaritans thing again. We're in your corner. It's what I call the Samaritans. That's it. That's good. I like that. Again, it's this very masculine figure here, giving the impression, saying, guys, it's not wimpy to need help. That's very true. Village, Swindon. Village? This place is having an identity crisis. It really is. Now it's a bloody village. Oh, good grief. Anyway, I think this is just some health club or something. I picked this up. Yeah. Right, that's it. I picked that up from somewhere. This is another card from Ingrid. I don't know how I got hold of double cards. I mean, some of them was... Stain might have picked up a few of them, and I managed to sort of get hold of them from her for some reason. But no, I don't know the real. I may have just accidentally picked up two of them. No mind, I'll give them to people. Crunch Media. Right, what's this? Take a bite out of the hassle of marketing and delivering. Swindon Invincible. Crunch Media. Right, yeah, and this is another of these flyers. Left field, whatever that is. I think it's like a rock festival or something. What's this? Oh, Swin City again. Swin City, another Swin City thing. So now it's a city again. I'm just going to have to settle on one of these things and just leave it there. It's a city, okay? This is a city, Swindon, and it's a city. Nexus magazine. Oh, there we are. Well, this is the latest issue about fracking. It's a cure for the common cold, carbon currency and antibiotics, thorium energy, safer nuclear option, comet Elenin, doomsday delayed. Now that's going to be interesting, especially. I think I'll have a lot to say about that in the weeks to come. Fracking is. I've only read that one so far. The fracking. This is where they put chemicals and high pressure gases into the rocks beneath our feet to get natural gas out of them. Of course, another desperate. It's rather like tar sand. It's a desperate kind of non-solution to the problem of fossil fuels. They're actually doing that near Lytham St Anne's, where they have probe, and there's been earthquakes in Blackpool for the first time in 100 years. So I'll have a good read. That's an interesting article. I can't explain it now. I've got time. But Merlin's Diary, the UK Mind, Body, Spirit Events Wizard. Now that's obviously some sort of computer website where it helps you maybe Merlin's Diary. Yeah, it's obviously like a database for sort of New Age and mind, body, spirit events, as it says. I think I'll just have to have a look and see. That's interesting. Cutting edge news. Now this looks good. Take the red pill. Check out how far the rabbit hole goes. Now that sounds interesting. I think I've heard this before. I think he's like a journalist, an alternative journalist, a bit like me really, but he's this is a bit like HPANWO TV, I guess. This is a book. This is a Staines book actually, but she's kindly lent this to me for my souvenirs. Psychic Children, Dolphins, DNA, and the Planetary Grid. Now this looks an interesting book, and the author signed it for us, Stain there. Now there's various things in here about energy lines, and the 19.47 phenomena, the tetrahedron inside the sphere, which is very interesting. It's a big subject. I mean, this all looks quite an interesting book about children and star children and things like that, which is something that's often rejected, but I think it's very serious. So when Stain is finished with that, I hope she'll lend it to me. Now we come to Anthony Peake's books. The Daemon. The Daemon is his second book. I bought his first two. He was selling for £12 a piece. The Guide to Your Extrasensory Secret Self. Now this guy, as I said in my review of his speech, he's a serious scientist who embraces the spiritual. Now he pronounced this word daemon. It looks like demon. It looks like the word demon. Take away the A and you get demon. And it refers to a spirit inside you. I've not read the book, so I'm not quite sure exactly what this means, but it says, the daemon expounds on one of the most enigmatic areas of his previous book. Proposition that all consciously aware beings consist of not one but two separate consciousnesses. Everyday consciousness and that of the daemon, a higher being that seems to possess knowledge of future events. And this is all very interesting indeed. Now, this word here, I always thought it was pronounced demon, and the reason, just basically a homophone for the word demon, D-E-M-O-N. Now, demon, the word demon pronounced like that comes from the novels of Philip Pullman, his Dark Materials trilogy, which are some of the greatest and most wonderful books I've ever read. Now, in these books, it refers to a parallel universe where people have demons, and demons are their soul, which takes the form of an animal which walks alongside them. If you've not read those books, bloody hell, read them, for God's sake. Philip Pullman is a great author who comes from Oxford. He's written, he's part of this great tradition we have in Oxford for sort of fantastic literature, which includes people like Lewis Carroll, the Alice in Wonderland stories. J.R. Tolkien of Lord of the Rings, of course, C.S. Lewis and his Narnia books. Now, Pullman, I know, doesn't like to be associated with those authors. He sees himself as somehow different from them. But I actually think he is a part of that tradition, and I think, well, if I was in his place, I'd be proud to carry on that tradition. But no, I'm going to read this. This looks interesting. You may have seen a film of the first Philip Pullman book. It's called Northern Lights, or The Golden Compass. It was made into a film called The Golden Compass. Now, unfortunately, the sad thing is they're not going to make any more of those because it's a trilogy, and they've only filmed the first one, which is annoying. Apparently, the fundamentalist Christians in America don't like it because the thing about Philip Pullman is his books are very anti-religious. This is the thing. I don't say they're anti-spiritual. I mean, the books actually have a spiritual theme to them, but they're very against organised religion. So I wouldn't say they're atheistic books, even though they're very, people like Richard Dawkins like them. So the atheists do sort of like are very keen on them, but they are anti-organised religion, and so am I. It's one of the reasons I like them. Is there life after death? Big question. The extraordinary science of what happens to us when we die, by Anthony Peake, forward by Professor Bruce Grayson. As I say, Anthony Peake is a serious scientist who does near-death experiences and other things. Basically, this is Peake's first book, and the answer to this question here in the title is yes. So therefore, I am not going to be able to award Anthony Peake the MBA. He is a disgusting, worthless jelly who deserves to be trampled on by the MBA gods, like the British Humanist Association and Marcus du Sautoy and Susan Blackmore and those other people. So, live in jelly hell, you scumbag, Anthony Peake. Now, these are my notes. These are my notes that I've written, and they are... And among those is the notes I made on Nick Pope's speech, which I'll be writing out into a full-length HPANWO article. Nick knows about this. I mean, we've been communicating about this subject, and he knows I'm going to write a review. I think he trusts me to do a good job. Obviously, I don't agree with him, and I think you'll find, and there's no point pretending that. but I think I'm going to be respectful and be as fair as a critic can be. This is, I've got some earphones here with like a medium-sized jack. I don't know what they're doing in my bag. They're not going to be much use here. Now here's my ticket for Saturday. Again, you know, this is 7:15 to 7:30 p.m. All for £25. You know, I come next year to this conference because it's very reasonably priced for a conference. I mean, some of them are a lot more expensive than that, I'll tell you. Weird. This is the card for the Weird conference here, with its website and everything on there. As I said, this is there'll be a Weird 12 next year, I hope. As it says, if you go to a conference this year, why not make it a weird one? And it is weird. But it's good to be weird. I mean, it's normal. You've got to be worried about. It's normal. You don't want to be. Right, I brought a little book with me to read on the train, but it's a short train journey because it's only about an hour's train journey because I live in Oxford. C.S. Lewis, The Great Divorce. Now, we were just talking about C.S. Lewis when I was discussing Anthony Peake's book. Now, this is something I just grabbed off my shelf, actually. I don't know, I've not read it before. I think it might be one of my brother's books or my dad's. He might have lent it to me and I've forgotten, but basically he's a very good author, I think. He's a Christian, but he's a very, very thinking Christian. He's not a mindless Christian. Right, well, thanks for watching this TV channel and this TV programme, and that was Souvenirs for the Weird Conference 2011. I'll see you later.